Yo, what up guys, this is your boy here, Judah Yugi, giving you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V episode 10, was it 4 or 5? I think it was 5. Yeah, 105 review for you guys. This was another really good episode. They keep throwing good episodes back to back, so this is another really good one. The episode starts off with Yuya waking up from the duel from Master Phoenix, but they don't really talk about that at all. Like, that doesn't get mentioned in this episode. It's more focused on the Shun and Kaito duel. So leading up to that, we start seeing Alan and Sayaka trying to find Kaito, trying to get him to join them and all that kind of stuff, because he's kind of going off on his own and doing his own thing, kind of being a rogue or whatever, and they're trying to get him to work with them, work side by side with them, and maybe get him to stop acting the way he is or whatever. But yeah, so it goes off like that. Kaito obviously refused and says, "Oh, I don't want to join you guys, blah blah blah." So then he walks away, and then Shun grabs him by the shoulder out of nowhere, and then Kaito says, "Oh, if you stand in my way, I'll turn you into a cartoon or something." I forgot. That may not be exactly what he said, but the point is, he already starts. He opens up his duel disc, and he's like already ready to duel. And then Shun obviously responds. He's like, "All right, fine. You want to duel me? Then let's go. I'm not afraid of you. And all that stuff." So they start off the duel. It's a really great duel. It's going back and forth for the most part. Kaito summons off his new Galaxy Eyes, Cypher Dragon. Shun summons all his other stuff. I won't go into detail with all the monsters and cards that they use, but it was a pretty interesting duel for Shun, because Shun in this duel, he's kind of more focused on trying to get Kaito to like calm down and to kind of join them and believe in his friends and stuff like that, which is very different for Shun's character, because before, in the beginning of the series, he was the character that was alone, that shunned himself off from anybody. He didn't trust anybody. And now you see him here, and he's trying to show Kaito that you can trust people and that you don't have to do everything alone and all this stuff. And comrades are kind of like your greatest strength. So it shows great character development in Shun in this duel, and it's really great. And I love that they were showing a lot of old flashbacks from before, when that flashback when he was dueling against the Academy's the Obelisk Force, and Gogetsuka and Shinji. Shinji were there, and they were Shinji and Serena. They were all there, and they were in that in that duel, that battle royale, and he had to accept their help, even though he didn't want to, but he accepted their help, and he was able to survive and win because they protected him and they helped him side by side. So I love that they brought that back, because I always felt like that was a very big moment where it kind of would turn things around a little bit, and it didn't seem like it was going anywhere, and then they brought it back in this episode. I'm like, yes, finally that came around, and then he also had flashbacks of every little things that happened in the Xyz dimension, meeting Crow, that he became friends with him, and it was really in that episode when he dueled Crow, and he saw that Crow was a good person and that he cared about the kids, and Shun remembered the reason why he dueled in the first place was for the kids, and it was really good. And I feel like that was really the turning point when Shun actually started trusting people and seeing the Lancers and everybody as their friend. That was that turning point, because even in the beginning of the duel with Crow, he was still being that douchebag. He even said himself, like, "Oh, I'm not working with the Lancers, I don't care about them," or something like that. He was basically saying that, "I don't trust any of them, I don't care, I'm not one of them." And then by the end of the duel with Crow, you see that changing, and he's working alongside with them and stuff like that. So there's a lot of character development, and throughout the duel, Shun was actually using the action cards that were on the field, which is not something he normally does, showing that he trusts the Lancers, and he trusts his comrades, and that he's willing to fight with the tools that they use as well, which is the action spell card. So he's jumping around, you know, trying to power up his radioactive monster by like 600, 1,000, and this and that. And then he draws like the third card, the action card, and that card is like an effect that you can only activate during your opponent's turn when he's like attacking, when your opponent is attacking you, so you can activate it. And then, you know, and that failed, unfortunately, but he's still obviously trusting his friends, and Kaito's kind of being a douchebag, saying, oh yeah, you trusting your friends, and look, you know, like it failed you right now when you needed it, or something like that. I'm butchering some of the words, but you get the concept. Like, he's kind of saying, oh, you know, how could you be using action cards, you know, like looking down on him for using them and all that stuff. Obviously, Kaito's just not listening during any of this, and then, you know, Shun ranks up again. You know, he goes for Ultimate Falcon, and for a moment you think that Shun is actually gonna win the duel. He's got his Ultimate Falcon. He had to beat the trap card. Like he's got everything in the bag, and it seemed like Kaito for a second was about to, like, you know, turn good for a slip moment, and then he's like, then he remembered, oh yeah, Yuya, Yuto and Yuya's body was kind of saying that, oh, you know, when Shun and Kaito were in the Xyz dimension, the kids loved them and they loved their duels or whatever, and, you know, they were like an inspiration to the kids and all that stuff. You know, they were going, you know, off with all that kind of emotional stuff, and then Kaito was remembering that, you know, the kids and stuff, and then he also remembered all those kids dying and being turned into cards, and then that's when he got angry again, and he's like, oh well, screw it. He activates a monster effect from his hand, destroys one of his spell cards, sends them both to the grave, and then sends a Cyber Interferer from his deck to the graveyard, so that way whichever Cypher Dragon that Shun attacks with his Ultimate Falcon, he will, that monster's attack will be doubled. You know, his usual shenanigans where he doubles his monster's attack. So that's what happens there. So he doubles his Cypher Dragon's attack, and then Shun obviously isn't strong enough to get over that, and then Shun loses the duel. Yes, Shun actually loses to Kaito, which is a pretty interesting turn of events there. But yeah, so he loses to that, and then Kaito goes up to him. Oh, another important thing that happened during the duel, Sayaka was really, throughout the duel she seemed like really scared and really worried, or whatever, about Kaito and this and that, and she revealed that she said that a lot of what happened with Ruri was her fault, and the reason why she said that was because when she was captured by Yuri, she was there watching the whole thing, and she was too afraid to go in and save her. So she was blaming herself this entire time for not protecting her, for not doing anything, for kind of being too scared to confront Yuri or to help her, because she was just too afraid of what was going on. So she was just crying because she really felt guilty for abandoning her best friend and someone that she cared about a lot, because she was too afraid to do anything. So that was another really important moment that needed to be mentioned. And also, Yuya also kind of stated that Yuto stated to everybody that Yuto was in their body, was in his body finally. And then there was a cool moment in the duel where Shun looked over it right after that, and he saw Yuto's spirit, and he smiled at him, and he's like, oh yeah, you were always close by, weren't you? And then, you know, Yuto smiles back at him, and so it was a very nice bro moment. That was really cool. But anyway, back to the end of the duel, Kaito walks up to Shun, getting ready to take his soul and turn it into a card, and then there's this really intense moment when they're all looking at each other like, oh no, you know, is he really gonna do it? And then Sayaka cries, and she tells him, no, please don't take Shun away from me. I've already lost so many people that are close to me, and I can't take losing Shun either. So then Kaito kind of stops there, and he's thinking for a moment, like, if he should do this or not, kind of struggling, like he really wants to do it, and he just stays there for a while, and then he ultimately he doesn't even say anything. He just turns around and walks away, and he doesn't take his soul, and that's kind of how everything ends. And but yeah, it was a really great duel, really interesting. I guess now we know who would win between Kaito and Shun, right? Yeah. So clearly Kaito won this duel. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Kaito and what's going to finally take for him to turn around and trust everybody. It's going to take a lot more to do that. Everybody thought that Shun in this duel was going to be able to turn him around, but it still didn't happen. So, and Kaito's already had 3 duels, and already, he still hasn't turned to the other side, to the good side, I guess, or to join his comrades. And, yeah, so it's pretty interesting. He's had several straight wins, so I'm wondering who is finally gonna take Kaito down, and who is finally gonna, get him to trust everybody. But yeah, so that was the episode. It was a really great episode. Next episode is actually going to be really great because we're finally going to be talking about Academia. We're going to talk about the Arc Area project, which is Akaba Leo's real plan. So it's going to be really great. It's going to be mainly focused on Academia from what it seems like in the preview. So really excited for that. Alexis is going to be returning in this episode, which is great. And then also Yuri's going to be in this episode too, so that's going to be really interesting. I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. But tomorrow, really great episode. It's going to be very influenced on the story of the Fusion Dimension and everything that's going on. So can't wait to hear about that. And yeah, guys, that's the review. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. I'm going to try to keep up to date with this. I tried to get this on Monday, whatever. But anyway, I graduated just yesterday, which is great. So now I don't have school to worry about, so now that's one less problem. So hopefully I could have more time to make more reviews and to edit my videos. So I have to get part 2 of the Yusei and the previous Yusei and Judai duel that you guys, the second part of it, because it wasn't finished. So I have to get that out there for you guys. So I'm going to try to edit that this weekend. Try my best to get it done by Sunday or Monday, and maybe have it up by Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to try my best, but I have a little more free time. I just need to focus and concentrate now. Try not to get distracted, but I got to do this for you guys. The poll is still up. I still want to know, we got a couple votes for Yusei to win the Yuya Sakaki versus Yusei Furo duel. I got a couple votes for Judai. I'm going to start another poll again. And I really want you guys to tell me who you want to win between Yusei and Yuya. So yeah, write down below who you want to win, please. We want you guys to play a part in who wins some of the duels, so you guys could feel like you have a part in this and can enjoy and kind of control a certain aspect of it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to see. Enjoy everything. God bless you guys. Thank you for everything. Gotcha!